showed up doing a little shakedown here on the bikes. Landed in San Diego today, had a nice taco lunch and Tecate. Got back on the road, unloaded the bikes, we're out for a little test run.
The bike is fantastic. This is a factory works bike. This is not a regular off the showroom floor bike. This isn't something someone could go buy. They only built a few of these. This one was owned by Chris Blaze, pretty famous off-road racer. I won the bike from him in a raffle, from a raffle ticket.
Everything's perfect. Now we're just dialing stuff in. We're day one, we're testing. So we're out here in the middle of nowhere, near Mexicali, near the start, I think. But just getting the nerves shaken out and getting ready, dialing everything in.
Here in Mexicali at the Bull Ring, doing the tech inspection and registration. Nate's got his custom outfit on, race
Nate's
numbers.
looking good. Sweet.
We're all loaded.
Dirt bikes are awesome.
Yeah, and dirt bikes are awesome. So, do they ride on that or do something with it?
Yeah, they're going to ride on every stop. Time control. And you've got your time card in your pocket to hand them. And then they'll also ride on a clipboard, so you have a triplicate. Okay, it's official. You have to have fun now.
Okay.
That says he gets to start and be timed, and he's paid his money to have fun.
Okay, exclamation points means hazards. 1 means it's not too bad. 2 means you should really check your speed a little bit. 3, check your speed more. 4, check your speed or suffer, bodily and vehicle damage.
We've got bike number 357. This is the Alternative Lifestyle sponsored police machine. Loading up the road book here. These are directions, so he knows where to turn right, and where to turn left, where to go, and where to stop.
The course is not marked. There's no way to go anywhere unless you have navigation. Today I'm going to be using the iPad 1 for navigation instead of a roll chart with the actual directions on it. I cheaped out and decided to mount my iPad on the motorcycle, so we're going to see if this thing works. Totally untested, never had it on the bike before, and all my navigation is on that, so hopefully it doesn't fly off into the desert. One of the top, if not the top, sort of epic things is to come ride Baja. And the Baja Peninsula is sort of a mecca for off-road racing because they don't have fences and property ownership that prohibit you from riding. Basically, if you come down here and you're respectful, but you can ride, the whole peninsula. And it's just like one of the last places where you can do that.
There's always something going on, some story, you never stop moving the entire time you come to Baja. You're just always fixing something, helping someone to fix something, riding your dirt bike, getting somewhere to ride it. It's just, you sleep very little, you have tons of fun, there's never a dull moment.
It's 4:20 in the morning. It's got a little fancy illy coffee in a can. The Jufro is in full effect. And it's time to get suited up. Day one, first day of the race. Never raced in the desert before, so I'm pretty excited.
Mexican 1000.
You're going to line up in the dark, you're going to kick off at 6 a.m. and twist the throttle for like 8 hours.
Holy shit.
Or 9 maybe.
Really? I feel good. Everybody's out there running around getting ready. Just fucking jazzed up and it's 5 in the morning.
Go.
Huh?
Go, carry on.
Oh, all right. So Baja has always been a really mystical, just something that just seems out of reach. And I never thought it could happen. I just remember reading about it when I was a kid. It's always been a dream, but I never thought it would happen. Okay, day one, very intimidating. We were all lined up for the start, and it was cold. I couldn't get my navigation figured out. I was really freaking out about that.
So we're still like out of sorts, and we hadn't been on the bikes, and we don't even ride bikes like this. We ride little bikes that you race in the woods. We don't ride big displacement, high-speed stuff.
started, we went off. Very nervous. We started hitting some really loose sand at first. I felt like I was going to fall over, and I started getting arm pump right away. And I was thinking, this isn't going to be good.
They immediately get you on a lake bed, and you hit some seriously high speeds.
Somebody's gonna get hurt out there. One guy almost got bit by a rattlesnake. I almost hit a trailer. You know, you're in the cloud, you're thinking it's a bike in front of you, and then it clears and you're like, shit! It's a trailer. It's just, oh my God, it's unreal.
I looked out, I was going 98, things just going, wah! It's pretty wild.
We're just at a little roadside gas stand getting some jug gas. They sell us gasoline out of a milk jug, and just so we can make it through to the next test section.
How much is the gas here?
$5 a gallon. Yeah. 24. ¿Está bien? Gracias.
I guess we're en route to San Felipe. I don't exactly know where we are. My GPS isn't working.
Good day, huh? Oh, honey. We got beer for that.
Thank you. That's a fresh one, mate.
You made it.
This motorcycle tire is referred to as a knobby, but this one is lacking a few knobs. That one's about to go. That one destroyed.
Tire wore out. Long day ride, 400 miles. Didn't last too long.
Got to go find a new tire for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, no shit.
I love it.
Come on, let me hear you say it.
Dirt bikes are awesome. No crashes.
Yeah, no crashes, no mechanicals.
Yeah, nice.
That's fair. Knock on wood.
So we started out from Bay of LA, and that day started with a test, which is a time section.
It's the longest test of the race. I think it was 175 miles. Come off the start, third gear, down that straightaway, it's a 90 degree. I go to grab the front brake, there's no front brake. And I locked it up, and I had Jesse was on my line right behind me, almost took me out. Last second, I gassed it, and just before I hit that wall. It was scary. So I didn't have brakes until after the first test. I got them off another bike. Oh, just rocks, and more rocks, till you couldn't even think about rocks. Just rocky, for endless rocks. My rims used to be round. Now they're like an octagon.
You go from 0 to pretty much as fast as the bike will go. And what that does is it forces you to completely change your perspective, because once you get up to that speed, you can't, by the time you see something, you're going to hit it unless you adjust as soon as you can see it. So your speed is limited by how far you can see. And there can be rocks, there can be ruts, it can be anything, because it's Baja.
I was riding along, it was toward probably the first 20 miles, and then I saw Kelly's bike down, and he was hauling butt out in front. So I stopped, and he was kind of out of it. It looked like, it sounded like a concussion.
Oh, I had a big crash, man. Yeah, I'm all right. I'm all torn up.
So I came up to him, and I said, "You okay?" Same thing. "Yeah, I'm all right. But I saw that his bike was just trashed.
I stopped to see what was going on. I did a little walk around to the bike, and it seemed like sort of an extraordinary amount of damage to the bike. So we hung there with Kelly a little bit, and he's such a nice guy. He's immediately just saying, "Just go on, I don't want to ruin your race." But after a few minutes, we could tell he was kind of loopy, and so I've had a few concussions before, so kind of picked up on that a little bit.
Nate figured out how to fix the throttle. He took it off, got the sand out of it. He said, "You want to go back 14 miles to the start, or you want to keep going?" And he said, "I want to keep going."
Kelly rode like on my wheel all the way through that test.
He rode over 100 miles. I let out for a while, and then Nate had his tail, and we followed each other out, and then we stopped again, and he was right behind me. So then we just kept going.
And then we got to the end, and we saw our support crew there, so we stopped, and he was complaining more about his shoulders, so we convinced him to take his gear off and take his shirt off, and then we noticed he had a broken collarbone, which was pretty obviously sticking up.
They used my jersey and kind of tied up this little sling configuration to keep my shoulders back. I can move my arms fine. This one's fine, but this right side is pretty messed up. But dirt bikes are awesome. That's all I got.
Buenos días. Es las 4:45 de la mañana en Loreto, México, Baja México. Estamos haciendo la carrera de motocross.
So Kelly's got a great attitude. He still says dirt bikes are awesome, even though he's blown up his collarbone. He's on his way back to LA today to get consult with a physician and probably have surgery on his collarbone.
Yes.
Okay, so we are outside of Loreto, Baja California. Got up today and rode from the hotel over to this place, which is our starting point today. We start with a special stage or a test this morning.
So we're all lining up right now, and we're going off 2x2. It's kind of a drag race to start it off.
fans out there. Like, where do they come from and how'd they get here?
Not
They're
that.
so fired up. You
And
know?
then when you see them, and then about 500 yards later, you think there's more, and you look up and it's one of those cactus, you know?
Yeah, they're going, hey! In the U.S., we're like nobody. So, but in Baja, we're like they're sports athletes, you know. And so everyone from town's out, and we basically get to go as fast as we can through a closed town with fans everywhere. We feel like heroes, you know. So, really fun time to get through that town and see all the people that are so excited. Finished the race, epic race, so fun, blasting through town, people cheering everywhere. And I walk up to the race promoter, Mike Perlman, and I say, Mike, that was so cool the way our race finished, blasting us through the drainage ditches and the storm canals, underneath the bridges. And got underneath that bridge, and I ducked down and gassed him, and he goes, you ducked down? I said, yeah, because of the bridge. And he goes, you think the trucks can make it through there?
Death and gravity for 4 days.
I liked it.
Whew. How do I look?
I won.
Not much question. Who won out of the whole race is the question.
Viva Mexico! Diesel?
A hero's welcome into town, and it ended up on the city streets. You get to, you know, cut the back end around a little bit, and people are cheering. It made you feel pretty darn cool.
Mexico is just awesome. It's pretty lawless, you know. I kept thinking, I want to come back and enjoy this. You know, you're always thinking about family and bringing them down, and I keep thinking about them the whole time. But it was very emotional. Actually, it's gotten more and more emotional as it's gone, because you're pretty torn down. And, you know, when your brain's that torn down, yeah, I think you go into survival instinct and you start thinking about things and get real emotional. And while all that's going on, you're going 85, 90 miles an hour with the back wheel just flying, and it's just amazing what the brain can do.
In my life, everything's pretty well set at home. You know, I know what I can expect. I know how to overcome the challenges. I know how, when something doesn't work, I pretty well know how I'm gonna fix it. And out here, there's none of that security. It's just seat of the pants, figuring it out, be happy in the moment, hope for the best. And, you know, I feel like I'm better connected to the way life was long ago. And that's hot. It makes me happy.